Is it safe to travel to Argentina right now? It's a question that comes up often, especially for travelers who have always dreamed of standing in the shadows of the Andes, wandering the streets of Buenos Aires, or exploring the vast stretches of Patagonia. Argentina is a country that draws you in with its promise of contrasts. Here, European architecture mixes with Latin spirit. Fine dining and tango coexist with gaucho culture, and wide-open landscapes that feel almost mythic. But behind all the romance, there are also practical realities to consider. Because like any destination, Argentina has its challenges. I'm Stephen with the Travel Safety Network. For more than 25 years, I worked across the globe in industrial safety and risk management, helping people prepare for and navigate environments that required vigilance, adaptability, and respect. Today, I'm turning my focus to travel safety because I believe the most meaningful experiences come from understanding not just the beauty of a place, but also its complexities. In this video, we're going to take a close look at the safety picture in Argentina. We'll talk about the crime that does happen and how to avoid it, the social and political currents that sometimes make headlines, and the day-to-day realities of getting around safely. We'll cover health considerations, local transportation, and neighborhoods where extra caution is warranted. And stay with me until the end, because I'll share something about Argentina that even seasoned travelers don't always realize, something that might just inspire you to see this country with fresh eyes. Let's begin with the big picture. Argentina is the second largest country in South America, stretching from the subtropical jungles of Misiones all the way to the icy plains of Tierra del Fuego. It's a country of immense diversity, not only in geography, but also in culture. And that means the safety experience can vary depending on where you go. But there are some consistent patterns to be aware of, especially in urban centers. Most travelers arrive in Buenos Aires, and it's here that questions about safety are most relevant. Buenos Aires is a city of immense energy, with a European look and a Latin heartbeat that can be exhilarating and a little overwhelming all at once. Petty crime is the main issue here. Pickpocketing and bag snatching are common, particularly in busy areas like Florida Street, San Telmo, and around the Retiro bus station. Criminals are often opportunistic rather than violent, but they're skilled at distraction techniques. One of the most reported scams involves someone squirting a substance on you, then a helpful stranger offering to clean it off, while their accomplice lifts your wallet or phone. At night, it's wise to stay in well-lit, busy areas. Taxis are generally safe if you call a radio taxi or use an app like Cabify or Uber. Hailing a taxi off the street is common, but it does carry a slightly higher risk of overcharging or, in rare cases, express kidnapping, where you're driven to an ATM and forced to withdraw money. These incidents are rare, but they're a reminder to use reputable transportation options whenever possible. Beyond petty crime, Argentina is generally safe from violent crime directed at tourists. Most incidents involve theft rather than assault. That said, in some areas like parts of La Boca, caution is advised. During the day, many visitors come to see the colorful Caminito Street and the tango performances, but after dark, the neighborhood empties out and can feel less secure. If you want to explore La Boca, go in the morning or early afternoon and avoid wandering off the main tourist streets. Health and hygiene are areas where Argentina fares well compared to many destinations in the region. Tap water is generally safe to drink in Buenos Aires and other large cities, and food safety standards are high. Argentina is known for its beef, empanadas, and wines, and enjoying them is one of the highlights of any trip. Still, if you have a sensitive stomach, consider starting with bottled water and easing into street food slowly. Transportation is another area worth discussing. In Buenos Aires, the subte metro system is efficient and affordable, but it can be very crowded during rush hours, which makes it an environment where pickpockets thrive. Long-distance buses are a popular way to travel between regions, and they are generally safe and comfortable, with several classes of service that include lie-flat seats and meals. If you're taking a bus overnight, keep your valuables on your person rather than in the overhead compartments or under the seat. One question that often comes up is about protests and political unrest. Argentina has a vibrant tradition of demonstrations, particularly in Buenos Aires, around the Plaza de Mayo. These protests are usually peaceful, but they can block roads and public transport and occasionally escalate into clashes with police. If you see a gathering forming, it's best to steer clear. Socially, Argentina is an open, friendly country, and travelers usually feel welcome. The population is primarily of European descent, and visitors of all backgrounds generally report positive experiences. However, like anywhere, it's wise to be respectful and sensitive to local norms. Avoid getting into debates about politics or the country's turbulent economic history unless you really understand the context. For LGBTQ+ travelers, Argentina is one of the most progressive countries in Latin America. Same-sex marriage has been legal since 2010, and Buenos Aires in particular has a thriving LGBTQ+ scene. Public displays of affection are generally accepted, though in smaller towns and rural areas, discretion may still be appreciated. Racially, travelers of African or Asian descent occasionally report extra curiosity, especially in rural areas where diversity is less common. But overt discrimination is uncommon, and most travelers find locals to be warm and helpful. One of the lesser-known risks in Argentina is the impact of frequent economic swings. Inflation and currency controls can make it tricky to plan your budget. Many businesses prefer cash payments, and using US dollars can sometimes get you a better exchange rate. The informal exchange market, known locally as the dólar blue, offers rates significantly higher than the official ones, but exchanging money this way carries risks, including counterfeit bills and scams. If you need to change money, use authorized exchange houses or withdraw from ATMs, even if the rate isn't as favorable. Travel advisories from the US State Department, Global Affairs Canada, the UK Foreign Office, and Australia's Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade all highlight similar points. Exercise normal precautions, be aware of petty crime in urban areas, and stay informed about demonstrations that can disrupt movement. They also remind travelers to watch for counterfeit currency and to avoid carrying large sums of cash. If you're traveling beyond Buenos Aires, you'll find that the safety picture often improves. Mendoza, known for its wineries and Andean backdrop, has a slower pace and generally less crime. Patagonia from Bariloche to Ushuaia is considered very safe, with most issues involving weather and the occasional petty theft rather than more serious crime. In the far north, in provinces like Salta and Jujuy, the biggest challenges are usually logistical rather than criminal. When it comes to natural hazards, Argentina's vastness can present risks of its own. The weather can change quickly, especially in the mountains. Road conditions vary, and distances are long, so plan your journeys carefully and make sure someone knows your itinerary if you're going off the beaten track. So, is it safe to travel to Argentina? For the vast majority of travelers, the answer is yes, if you take the same sensible precautions you would in any major international destination. Be aware of your surroundings, keep valuables secure, and don't let your guard down completely, especially in crowded areas. But also allow yourself to relax and enjoy the country's extraordinary richness. And here's the surprise I promised you. Many people think of Argentina as simply Buenos Aires and Patagonia, but there's a quieter side that few visitors explore. The wetlands of Ibará, the red canyons of Cafayate, and the high-altitude vineyards near Salta offer landscapes as dramatic as anything in the south, but with fewer tourists and a slower rhythm. If you take the time to wander beyond the obvious, you'll discover a side of Argentina that feels personal and unforgettable. I'm Stephen with the Travel Safety Network. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and share it with anyone planning a trip to Argentina. And stay tuned for my upcoming videos, where I'll help you explore more destinations with the knowledge and confidence you deserve. Until next time, stay curious, stay prepared, and remember, safety is your travel superpower.